Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It's Tuesday morning, and we had 2 days off again. So it's another classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia today. And the person we're doing the trivia on today is an important part of the Raptors' history. He is the only three-point shootout champion at All-Star Weekend for the Toronto Raptors in the history of the franchise over the 31 years, and that is Jason Capono. It's Jason's birthday this week. It was either yesterday or tomorrow. So we're just going to split the difference and do his Tuesday trivia today. This is like on Wikipedia, it says his birthday's tomorrow, but there's other places that actually say his birthday was on the 2nd. So it's ambivalent when Jason Kimono's birthday is. Don't worry, it's not a trivia question. But yeah, classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia. Jason Capono coming at you right now. Hopefully, we have people here. I know I just set up the stream and it's tough. Good to see Superfan Mo is in the house right away. Good to see you, Monique. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I'm sure you might know some Jason Capono trivia. So yeah, and Adriana, thank you for being here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family trivia. Unfortunately, I have a Zoom meeting at 10, so please save comments for after the game. Thank you. Yes. This is something that trivia commissioner Adriana has something to do for school, and she has an appointment at 10. So I got to get this trivia in the next half hour. I'm going to try and do it right now. So you know what? We got 6 people in here. You know, one thing I want to say just real quick before we start is this rumor about Darko coaching the world team is not true yet, guys. There's no official word on this. Somebody made a meme and put it out there and just declared that it's true. It's not official. It could be true soon, but everybody who's celebrating that Coach Darko Rajakovic is going to coach the All-Star team for the world team, that's an idea I came up with on this stream 2 days ago. Apparently somebody may have thought of the same thing or even heard me, and they went and made a meme that's declaring Darko is the coach of Team World. That is not true. I just want to be a fact checker here and let you guys know that that is not true yet. It could be true. It could happen, but let's not hold our breath and let's not say it may not happen, guys. It may not happen too. So yeah. Yeah, Fiercey's saying good morning, fam, and happy trivia day. All right, Fiercey's here. We can play. Okay, Jimmy's here. Good morning, Jimmy. Saw Raptors reports are interested in James Harden. No, that's crazy. Who laughed my ass off? Who wants that old man? Our name being regurgitated to drum up interest. Laugh out loud. That's a great example of it, Jimmy, because that's absolutely outrageous. And you're right. It shows exactly clear as day how we're utilized in this stuff to be involved in it. Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's go. Okay, Commissioner Adriana, let's go. All right, guys, let's go. I'll put the glasses on and let's get to it. All right, question number 1. Jason Capono, classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia. Happy birthday, Jason. What is Jason's middle name, y'all? What is Jason Capono's middle name? I want spelling on this one, too. Yeah, it's important. You write it the right, correct way that his name is spelled, because there's about 10 different ways you can spell this name, right? I don't know. I thought he was writing in Shea, like his middle name is Shea. Jason Shea Capono. He's named after the great Canadian MVP. That's what I thought. Yeah, Kareem's in here. Okay, T's playing today. He knows it's Allen. It's a very simple 1L Allen is Jason Capono's middle name. Look at that, Kareem Thomas starting off the scoring. He's not normally a big trivia player. We're going to see if Kareem's in the ring today for the Jason Capono trivia today. That's right. Allen is right. ALAN. Very simple. All right, second question, y'all. What is the name of Jason's wife? Jason has been married for over 20 years now. He has 4 children. And what is the name of Jason's wife? Make sure you hit live, Fiercey. What are you doing with your life? You got to hit live and kicking. Yeah. What is the name of Jason Capono's wife? Yeah. Yeah. He's been married to her dutifully for over 2 decades. They have 4 lovely children. These are not questions. Ashley is her name. That's right, Fiercey. Her name is Ashley Capono. There you go. Good job. We got Kareem and Fiercey on the boards. Let's go to this third question. We're going to get through there. Mrs. Capono. Ha, 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 Gerald. Ha, 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 ha. Naco the Nacho. All right, guys. What is the nickname or mascot of Jason Capone's alma mater? First, it's a two-part thing. You got to know, where did Jason go to university? And what is the nickname of the university that he went to? That's what we want to know right here. Yeah, Nako's funny, Mrs. Capono. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. He's a comedian. Can't you tell? Oh, so witty. So funny. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's first name we were looking for. All right now. But yeah, what is the nickname of the alma mater of the great three-point shooting NBA player Jason Capono? What is the nickname of the team? You know how it's like if it was North Carolina, so to speak, it would be Tar Heel. Tar Heel. You know what I'm saying? This is what this question is. We've had these questions in the past for the classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia. Mo's just listening. That's all right, Mo. You might actually know some of these questions as we go. If you do, get in there and throw your hat in the ring, please. If you do figure it out. So yeah. Yeah. So what is the name of the nickname? Oh, there you go. Cream got it. Yeah, it's Bruins. Yeah, trust yourself, my guy. He went to UCLA, and he is at the school of Rico Hines, and it is Bruins. Yes, he's a UCLA Bruin. Look at that. KT, you can do a little bit of looking around. It's all right. We want to get this trivia done today. And Adriana's got an appointment in 20 minutes, so we want to try and do this quick. So, all right, next question, guys. What jersey numbers did Jason Capono wear when he played in the NBA? What numbers did he wear? We're going to give you 200 points for each answer. So get those numbers. What was the numbers that Jason wore over his career? 24, Fiercey? Yes, he did wear number 24 primarily in his career. He was primarily 24. 72 is right. He did wear 72 briefly. It's a weird number to wear, right? 15, James? No, he did not wear the number of Vince Carter. 28. Yes, he did. Fiercey knows where to look. She knows where to look for this. That's right. 28 is right. And, well, the 9 is also on there, and I'm going to give KT the 9. But 9 is really a number he wore, I think, in high school. So he didn't really wear it in the NBA. But Kareem, I'm going to recognize Kareem jumping in, even though he put 24 and 9, just to steal that one at the end. Good morning, Slug Deezy. Good to see you here, too, also. And James. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Next question, guys. What famous hip-hop legend reps Capono's birthplace? What famous hip-hop legend represents Jason Capono's birthplace? So this is another two-part question where you're going to have to figure out, where's Jason born and who would be holding it down for them. Snoop Dogg is right, Fiercey, because Jason Capono is from the LBC. That's right. He is from Long Beach, and that is Snoop Dogg's territory there. So yes, Snoop Doggy Dogg was the answer I was looking for, from the LBC. That's right. Long Beach, California is the home birthplace of Jason Capono. Did you guys know that Jason is of Hawaiian and Portuguese descent? That's interesting. He's a Hawaiian. Capono might be a Hawaiian name. Maybe. Yeah. Interesting, huh? All right. Keep going, guys. How many games did Jason Capono play for the Toronto Raptors? That's in regular season and in playoffs. How many games total did Jason Capono appear in a Raptors jersey in his career? That's right. 69 is too low, Nako. Great first guess. 64 is too low. Too low, guys. You guys are too low. You're too low, Limbo. Limbo lower now. That's too low. 98 is too low. 98 is too low. A lot of people were like going low on this one too when I tested on Steve and them. 161, Kareem, you looked it up, but it's not the right answer. You're the closest. Y'all are all too low. All guesses are too low. Kareem Thomas is close. He's got 161. You're cheating. I know. That's fine. You can cheat, but you're not going to get it unless you round it out. 170 is not right. It's too high. 166 is right. Fiercely got it. So Kareem has the number for how many regular season games that Jason played for the Raptors. He played for us for 2 seasons, and he appeared in 161 games in the regular season, and he was in the playoff games 5 times for the Raptors. So 166 games appearing as a Raptor. And out of his whole 9-year career, Jason played the most games for the Raptors, not the Miami Heat, not the other teams he played for. He played his most games in the NBA as a Toronto Raptor. Just so y'all know, a little fun fact on that. So, yeah, you could cheat a little bit. It's like, go off the top of your head But if it's going too long and you have the time to research it, go get it then, is what I'm saying. All right, next question, guys. What team, pick, and year was Jason Kapono drafted? 200 points for each question. What team, pick, and year? Jason Kapono's NBA draft. Go ahead and get that info and let me know what team drafted him. Give me the name of the city and the nickname, please, if you could. 2003 is right, Fiercey. He was drafted in 2003. That is the correct year. Yes, that's right. What was the draft pick? Minnesota, number 8. Nako, both wrong. Both wrong. He was not the 8th pick in the draft from Minnesota in 2014. Cleveland Cavaliers is right, Slug Deezy. He was drafted by Cleveland. He was drafted by Cleveland. Detroit is a good guess, Monique. A very good one. Cavaliers, huh, Kareem? You want some style points for that? Slug Deezy's got the right number, too. It's 31. He was drafted in the second round at the 31st pick by the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2003. That's right. Yeah, in the second round. That's right. Cavaliers. That's right. There you go. All right. So Slug Deezy did mess around with jokes, and he came in and got those answers before you, is what I see on my screen. Adriana, we can confirm that Slug Deezy said Cleveland Cavaliers and 31 before anyone else. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. We're going to get about halfway now. Now, we just did the how many games did Kapono play for the Raptors? Well, let's do another question like this real quick. How many three-pointers did Jason Kapono make as a Toronto Raptor, playoffs and regular season? How many three-pointers do you think Jason made in a Raptors jersey over the 166 games that he played as a Raptor? 350? That's a little high, James. That's a little high. Yeah. We got to remember, Jason was not a main player. He was a role player who played kind of the Grady role right now, the Grady role on the team. 230 is too high, Fiercey. You guys are too high on this one so far. Let's just say it may be closer than you think to the other number. 155 is too low. Slug Deezy is the closest so far. 148 is too low. 162 is the closest answer now, but it's too low. 162 is too low. But you guys are getting closer. 170 is too high, James. So now you have a window, guys. 169 is too high. 169 is too high. Nako and Fiercey. Yeah, good morning, Cool Cat. Good to see you. 168 is right, Fiercey. So he averaged about one three-pointer per game he played for us. He had 166 games in a Raptors jersey, and he made 168 three-pointers in his NBA career for the Raptors. So, yeah, 168 is the right answer. On my screen, Fiercey's got it. I see Slug Deezy with it later, but it is Fiercey. Fast fingers, getting in there and getting it. All right, this is a great question. I hope you're enjoying the classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia today. Jason Kapono is getting the treatment. All right, here we go. Whose three-point finals record did Jason Kapono tie in the final round when he won the three-point championship the second time as a Raptor? The score was 25. Whose record did he tie for a 25-point score in the final round of his second three-point championship? Who is the player before that he tied the record with from before? Ray Allen, James? That's a fantastic guess. It's educated and wrong. Slug Deezy's got it, though. It is the blacklisted Craig Hodges, who we never, ever hear about anymore in the history of the NBA, which is messed up, because he was a pretty important three-point shooter at that time. No, it's not Larry. It is not Ray. It is Craig Hodges. So Slug Deezy will get that one. The king of the classic card, flexing his classic knowledge on Craig Hodges. That's right. Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. All right, next question, guys. All right, this answer is all Raptors, which is fantastic. Who were the top 5 teammates that played the most games with Jason Kapono in his NBA career? They're all Raptors. His top 5 teammates that he played the most games with were all Raptors. So there's 5 names. Full name answer, please. Who played the most games next to Jason as a teammate in his NBA career? Who were those 5 Raptors that are his top 5? DeMar DeRozan is not right. Mo Pete is not right, Monique. Anthony Parker is right, though. Slug Deezy knows that Anthony Parker did play with him at that time. So Anthony Parker is the first correct answer. Neil, good to see you, alien. Andrea Bargnani, Okay, don't just go down the list. If you go down the list in order, I'm gonna think you've got it and you just looked it up. Yeah, he's doing that. He's doing them right in order. You should mix it up and make it seem like you're mysterious. But if you you do it this way, takes it away. Anthony Davis? No, not Anthony Davis or Antonio Davis. Trevor. Good morning to you, Trevor J. Good to see the commissioner. Fun. Jose is on the list. It's like Easy's got the top three. He just walked right down the top three like in a row. TJ Ford is not on the list. JYD is not on the list, Mo. That's a great guess, though. Jamario Moon is, though. Slugdeezy's got the list. He knows where to look, obviously. And Chris Bosh is the other name on the list. And it looks like Stargate got in there just before Slugdeezy on Chris Bosh. So yeah, you got to remember this is this era. I mean, Jason played for us in 2007, 2008. So the top 5 teammates that played the most games with Jason Capono in his career were Anthony Parker, Andrea Bagnani, Jose Calderon, Chris Bosh, and Jamario Moon. That is the right 5 right there. Yeah, you got it first. Which one? You got Chris Bosh first? Not on my screen. Adriana, can you check on Chris Bosh? Daddy Gates looks like he's ahead on mine. And then it's Fiercey, and then it's Kareem, and then Slugdeezy. That's the order I see on my screen. Adriana, are you still here? Are you gonna, or did you already take off? I don't know if she's still here. We'll just see. But on my screen, I see Stargate. Stargate has Chris Bosh in first. Just on my screen, I don't know. We'll see what Adriana says if she is paying attention. She's got to watch her grandmother, so she may be busy helping her grandmother right now. So she may not be actually available. Monique, how about you? Can you see on your screen between Stargate and them? You think I'm right? Okay, thank you. She is here. I was going to say we'll get Monique to do it because she's done commissioner work for me too. She could be the judge saying, yeah, because on my screen it says Daddy Gates, Chris Bosh, Fiercey, Chris Bosh, Kareem, Chris Bosh, and then Slugdeezy, Chris Bosh. Okay. All right. Adriana's saying that is the right answer. All right. Next question, guys. Who played the most games against Jason Capono as an opponent in his career over time? Yeah. Who played the most games against Jason over his whole career as an opponent? I know Slugdeezy can go find this right away because he knows where to look, obviously. And I mean, give it a second. If maybe somebody guesses it, Kobe Bryant is a great guess. It's not right. It is not right. It is somebody who's an all-star, and I guess he's a Hall of Famer now at this point, which is to me is kind of goofy. I get it. I guess he should be a Hall of Famer. I don't know. Slugdeezy, if you give it like a minute or two, you can go ahead and throw it in there. Kyle Korver is not right. LeBron James is not right. These are good guesses, though. These are people that are right around the right time. I think Kyle Korver is a little late. Kevin Garnett and LeBron James are fantastic guesses, but they're not right. Joe Johnson's a good guess. It's not right. Carmelo Anthony is not right. Steve Nash is not right, but that's another fantastic guess. No, this guy, he kind of, I don't totally believe that he should have been a Hall of Famer. He's a former dunk champion. He played in China. There's a couple of the clues right there that could maybe help you. He's had a major beef with another Hall of Famer that is before him that didn't like him sharing the nickname with him. I think that tells you enough right there. Andre Iguodala. I like Slugdeezy's trying to come at it with guesses, but he's good with my clues too, especially with the classic card. So I said basically this guy's a former dunk champion. He played in Kareem's got the right word there, but it's not the answer. Jason Kidd is not right. It is Dwight Howard. Kareem Thomas is going to get it. Dwight Howard played the most games against Jason Capono in his career in that. Yeah, Monique's coming in with the Dwight. She knew who I was describing there as far as going to China and having the beef with Shaq over Superman. That's right. It was Dwight Howard. All right, I have a debut. New questions, man. New questions. George Reeves is the original Superman. Okay, George Reeves. All right, let me see. All right, here we go. This is the new segment, a new question. I'm going to be doing this question on all these classic Jurassics in the future, and they're fun, man. I love this new question. I hope you'll enjoy this new segment. This is the debut of it right here, guys. And this question is called the sun question. All right. And it sounds like what it is, my beaver son over here. All right. I went and looked up somehow, some way, I'm not going to tell you how, the records of the players against each other. And I want to find out who Jason Capono sunned over his whole entire career, meaning who did he never lose to? He was 5-0 against another NBA player in his career. He never lost to him. So I'm saying, who was Jason Capono's son on the court? The son question. J.R. Smith? No, it's not right. He was 5-0 against this guy. Never ever beat Jason in a game. They played 5 times, and Jason won 5-0 over this player as an adversary. Kobe Bryant. That's a great guess, Isaac. Is that likely? No. Did Jason Capono beat Kobe Bryant all 5 times he played him? No, that's not likely. I'll give you a clue. This guy is a former Raptor. That is the answer. Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate seeing me on blast there, right there. He's a former Raptor. And as I told Stevie Roots when I practiced questions last night, he was more famous for who he dated for anything else. Trevor J is saying Reggie Miller. That's an interesting guess. It's not right. Chris Bosh, James, I like that guess. It's not right. Gilbert Arenas is not right. Vince Carter, another great guess, is not right. All right, James, we don't do half answers. You better fucking get it in there because you're going to get seagulled. You're going to get seagulls. And you didn't even spell it right either. So, yeah, you're not there yet. There you go. James got it. It is Chris Humphries, the boyfriend of Kim Kardashian, is the right answer. Chris Humphries never beat Jason Capono. He is 0-5 versus Jason Capono in their NBA careers. So, yeah, his son is Chris Humphries. Yeah, they were husband and wife. They got actually married. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Chris Humphries, what were you doing? Seriously, they were married. Okay, yeah, there you go. I guess that clue gave it away. James is like, oh, I know who that is. Former Raptor who's more famous for who he was dating. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You have a Chris Humphries towel. He threw it at me. Chris Humphries threw a towel at you. He threw in the towel with you. All right, guys, as much as we have the new sun question, and I'm going to go back and do an interesting trivia at some point, guys. I'll tell you, but not I don't want to talk about it too much now. But the reverse of this is, who is the player's kryptonite? Like, you're either sunning somebody, like Jason Capono was sunning Chris Humphries. Well, what was the reverse of that? Who was somebody the whole entire time Jason Capono was in the NBA, he never beat? In fact, he was 0-12 against. Who was the kryptonite towards Jason Capono? And he never beat him. Yeah, you were at that game when he threw that towel at him. That's awesome. Kobe Bryant is a great guess. It is that kind of caliber player, but it is not Kobe Bryant. LeBron James, another fantastic guess. It is not LeBron. Slugdeezy thinks it's Olajuwon. Olajuwon, at that point in his career, remember where he was as far as with us, and kind of done by that point in his career. Think about this. He was 0-12, never beat him. Dirk Nowitzki's the best guess so far. Tim Duncan, fantastic. And Kareem got it. It's Steve Nash, y'all. Steve Nash is the kryptonite to Jason Capono. Jason Capono faced Steve Nash a dozen times, and every single time he faced Steve Nash, he lost. So he was 0-12. So that is the kryptonite of Jason Capono, is Steve Nash. That is the right answer. Captain Canada, formerly the greatest Canadian player of all time. Yep, that is the right answer. I love this. Do you guys like those questions? The sun and the kryptonite? It's like, who did they never beat and who did they always beat? Is basically those questions. So, yeah, Steve Nash always beat Jason Capono, just so y'all know. Little fun fact. You know, in doing this research, I found out yesterday that Vince Carter has a couple of kryptonite players that are former Raptors. And I won't make this a question right now. I'll just share it with you guys. That Vince Carter never beat Pascal Siakam in his entire career. Siakam always beat Vince Carter when they met in a game. Just so y'all know, another player from the Raptors that always beat Vince. Vince never beat this player is OG. OG Anunoby was never beaten by Vince Carter in a game. Yeah, and then the third one is Chris Boucher. All three of those Raptors can say that Vince Carter never beat them, that they defeated Vince Carter's team every single time they faced them in their career. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Yeah, I like it because you have to know the division. Well, you kind of have to know timelines, and you have to know kind of who was the dominant players around that era and time. that could be possibly the answers. Of course, some of these questions are going to need clues, just like the Kim Kardashian clue, because you go trying to just figure it out from the top of your head. It could be tough, right? So yeah, Steve Nash is the kryptonite. All right, let's keep going. What is Jason Capone's career high for points in a game? He did it as a Raptor. What is Jason Capone's career high in a game? It's Reggie saying James Harden wants to be traded. What the fuck? Oh, trivia. Sorry. Yeah, Reg, we're doing trivia. 38 is too high. 42 is too high. Yeah, we don't care about James Harden and all the linkages with stupid rumors that are not realistic that have to do with us. James got it. It's 29. Yeah, he scored 29 points for the Toronto Raptors on December the 14th, 2007, and that was his career high. Is the most points he ever scored in an NBA game was 29 points. Toronto Raptors, December 14th, 2007 is when he did it. Yeah, isn't that cool? All right, we got 3 more questions, and maybe I'll get it in just in time before 10 o'clock, just in time for Adriana. All right, here's the big money question we always ask. How much money in NBA contracts did Jason Capone earn over his 9-year NBA career? Yeah, what is the number? I want to get as close as we can. If you're kind of close, I'll give it to you. So how many millions did he get? 64 million's too high. 80 million's too high, guys. These are too high. Remember, the money wasn't like the way it is now. 24 million is close. Stargate is close. He's low, though. He's low. 56 is too high. 50 is too high. 28 is right. Slug Deezy got it. He made 28 and a half, actually, $28.5 million in his career. How many Raptors are making more than that just a season? 4 of them. 4 Raptors will make more than Jason made his whole entire career this season. So 28.5 is the exact number. And I'm going to give it to Slug Deezy because I didn't ask for the 0.5, but he got it just right there. You want the point? I don't know. You got to round up. I was going to say if you said 29 million, if you said 28.5, if you said 28, I was going to give it to you. If you were any of those numbers around there. Adriana, how do you want to adjudicate on this? Kareem Thomas has a beef. He wants to get it because he said 28.5, but I said Slug Deezy's got 28 above there. So, because in some ways, I normally don't make you guys do the point something. I just make you guys round it. I know it rounds to 29, but I figured 28. It's actually 28.49. It's not 28.5. It's 28.49, which in some ways you could say rounds. It does round up still. Yeah, 28.493 million. Yeah, let's keep going, Pi. Go ahead. 3.1435829435482845846684994. All accurate, Pi. All accurate. Adriana saying, sorry, Kareem. Slug gets it. Yeah, so Slug Deezy, you get the $1 million question. That's right. You get it. Yeah, you Googled it, so I don't care. Yeah, so you're cheating anyway. All right, two more questions. We're done. All right, guys. Who did Toronto Raptors get when they traded Jason Capone to the Sixers? Who did they trade Jason to the Sixers and got in return? Full name answer, please. Who did they trade to get when they traded him away after 2 years of being a Raptor? Who did we get in return from Philadelphia when we shipped Jason to the Sixers? After in a trade. Reggie Evans, that's right, Fiercey. It is Reggie Evans. The nut puncher was the return player in that trade is Reggie Evans. That's right. I like how she put the apostrophe in there. Like it's Reggie's is Evans. I don't know what that is. Jarrett Bayless? No, that's a good guess, though. A cheesesteak. That's what they got. Maybe they got Reggie Evans and cheesesteak. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds accurate. I like that, Isaac. Reggie Evans and the cheesesteak. Man, we are Raptor freaks. We're talking about Reggie Evans and cheesesteak. What? Wait, what? A puncher? Nut puncher. You don't know about that, Fiercey? Reggie Evans punched Chris Kaman in the nuts in the middle of the game. He's practically laying on the ground. And he went, boom, right in the nuts. He did it on purpose, too. He absolutely hit that man in the nuts on purpose. You could probably find the clip somewhere online. If you want a fun joke, go check it out. Yeah. It's a very famous Raptor moment in the history of the Raptors when Reggie Evans punched Chris Kaman of the Los Angeles Clippers in the nuts. Yeah, it wasn't even like incidental or accidental. That man did that with full intention, and he got him good. And it was one of those moments where a man went like this on the court. Oh, Oh, Trevor says he remembers that. I mean, they were talking about it on a podcast. Lou Williams was saying something like that. I don't remember if I don't even think we had flagrants back then. I don't know. Did we have flagrant fouls back then? I don't know. Probably. He got ejected. I'm pretty sure he got ejected from the game. Yeah. Yeah. All right. She's out. The last two questions are here. All right. She has to go because she has an appointment right at 10. I didn't make it. I was riffing on nut punching too long. All right. I love you too, Adriana. You have a good meeting right now. All right. The last question is a two-parter. All right, here it is. Guys, how many dunks did Jason Capono achieve in his NBA career? How many dunks officially does Jason Capono have in his NBA career? Don't try and look it up. Just go ahead and keep guessing. 7's too high. 4 is too high. 35 is too high. 42 is too high. All the answers are too high so far. How many times did Jason dunk in his career, guys? 5. 0's right. Slug Easy got it. He didn't dunk in his career at all. Big fat 0. That man didn't know his role. He was laying it up if he was near the basket. Have you ever seen a highlight of Jason Capono dunking the ball? No, you have not. He's one of those guys. You know, he's 6'7" too. Like I was talking about with Steve last night. He's like, that guy never dunked in the league. How tall is he? I was like 6'7". He's like, he never dunked once. No, he didn't dunk once, man. Not one dunk in the whole entire 9 years of his NBA career. Isn't that crazy? That's why we do this. Classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia to find out stuff like this. No dunks for Jason Caponos, just like the podcast. No dunks. We got dunks on this channel, though. That's right. We got dunks on this channel. That's right. All right. Last part of the question. We have one more part of it for 200 more points. Let's see who's going to get the last bit of this. All right, guys. In Jason Capono's career, how many half-court shots did he make in his NBA career, guys? How many times did he make a half-court shot in the 9 years that he was in the NBA? How many? 5, 3, 3, too high. All too high. 1, 0's right. Stargate got it. It was 0 times he hit a half-court shot. Because you know why? Because Steph Curry didn't play in the league yet. Because the three-point shot hadn't gotten abused to be drawn out with all this poor play like that. That's why. Because Jason Capono had discipline, and they had rules in the NBA back then about shot selection. So it's true. He never made a half-court shot because that wasn't supposed to be something you're supposed to do. Man was all three-pointers and mid-range and maybe some layups. No dunks and no half-court shots. 0. Stargate got the question. All right, there you go. There's the classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia for today. As far as with the Jason Capono stuff, yeah, I'll add up the totals and I'll put the trivia totals and standings in the comments of the stream after I finish the stream in a little while. So pretty cool, eh? It was fun. I love doing classic Jurassic. It's fun doing this, man. And it's been so long since I got to do the trivia stuff that it's like revisiting it and saying, oh, yeah, these are good questions. This will be fun for them. Yeah, no dunks, y'all. No dunks. How many points does Isaac have? 0. There you go. That's like going along with the questions right now. All the answers are 0 for the trivia today, guys. That's right. All the answers are 0. How much love does Joel Embiid have in Toronto? 0. 0. That's right. We're getting all the answers are 0 today. That's the secret. Mo's saying this. Brandon and Scotty are on the new cover of Slam magazine, officially dropping today. Yes. Yes, this is not fake news. This is real news. There is fake news out today. And I put a disclaimer at the beginning of the show. We'll talk about it some more in a second. But yes, this is not fake news. Superfan Mo is exactly right. The silhouettes are true to the hairstyles of our Raptors. And well, this is something that, Slam will do. Slam likes to cover the hot product in the NBA, hot product in NBA or college or basketball in general. They put people that are in the hot category as far as with basketball world. And that's when they get on the cover of the Slam magazine because they're hot. They're doing something. They're movers and shakers like Ingram and Barnes are. Yeah, this is cool. This will be great. This may be a Slam that I need to go buy. Of course, the last edition Slam had VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey on the cover, but this one coming out is going to be a Raptors cover with Barnes and Ingram. Woo-wee! I love that news, Superfan Mo. Thank you for bringing me that news. That's right. Fun trivia. That's right. I need to get points before Amit returns. Yeah, I don't know if Amit's going to return. You've got a huge lead. You are doubled up on him pretty much. You have like 16,000 points, and Amit has like 8,000 points. And Slug Deezy's got about 8,000 points. So Slug Deezy's really close to passing Amit. I think he's like, especially with the trivia questions today, he could have actually passed Amit today. So it may be Slug Deezy sitting in second in the trivia standings very soon. Very soon. Lots of hard work on the classic card, grinding to get Slug Deezy up there with you guys. Seriously, man. Yeah. Stargate's saying this. Safe to say the Raptors are now on the radar as a pretty good team with the Slam magazine cover. Yep. Yep. The mainstream people in the States will take note. I mean, that game against Orlando, even though we lost, that was a good showcase of Brandon and Scotty. They showed some very powerful stuff from that game. Yep. That's right. They're starting to, the submarine about who we are is coming up to the surface, and they're starting to see who we are. We are surfacing. And that is, in some ways, you know, it's, you know, we're not going to sneak up on people. Not at this point. Tomorrow we're going to play Minnesota. I'll have the preview for the Minnesota game tomorrow. It's also WWE night at the Raptors game tomorrow night. It's going to be the WWE theme with wrestlers. I guess is there going to be a wrestler at the game? You know, Scotty went to Raw. You better put a wrestler at courtside for the Raptor game against Timberwolves tomorrow. That would make sense. WWE, if you guys are doing a cross promotion and stuff like that, right? Let's see. Reggie's saying, for what it's worth, a few NBA insiders are expecting a Sabonis to the Raptors trade. It's not worth shit. For what it's worth, Buffalo Springfield. There's something happening here. What it is exactly bullshit. They're going to say some things about the Raptors, going to put them in that trade. No matter anyway, I'm going to say stop doing what you're doing now. We don't need to hear it no how. It's just bullshit. For what it's worth doo-doo. It's worth the snow melting in the yard, and it's going to evaporate. That's what it's worth. Reggie, all due respect to you, sir, as an individual, but that's what it's worth. It's just malarkey. This Jake Fisher with his ratty ass hair looking like a rat with his glasses on a podcast looking like a piece of shit. That's what it's worth. That's what it's worth. It's worth nothing because it's bullshit and it's not going to happen. I thought that we figured this out, that because of the trade they just did with DeAndre Hunter, that the Demonis thing can't happen no more. I mean, come on now, y'all. Why are you going to keep regurgitating the same bullshit to me every fucking couple days for like weeks now? Seriously, you bring up these names. We can talk about it. We can go over it. But as soon as it's like, oh, because another expert said it. No, these experts are all the same. It's regurgitated crap. It's not real. It's not going to happen. Once again, I would question the sanity and the judgment of Bobby Webster if he traded to get Domantas Sabonis just because ESPN people said it. What the fuck? Those people don't know jack shit about our team. And they're using our name just like we pointed out. There's all over Reddit this morning. The James Harden rumors are all about us all of a sudden. Does this make any fucking sense? James Harden to the Raptors? No, it doesn't. And it shows just how frivolous and stupid all this fucking trade deadline noise is. I'm so sick of this shit. I can't wait for this deadline to pass because I don't care about the trades. I care about the deadline passing so I don't have to hear this stupid shit. It's so annoying. Oh my gosh, Reggie, it's nothing against you, man. Just stop bringing this garbage in here. Jack Armstrong, get that garbage out of here. We've gone over the trade. If there's a new name like there is today, James Harden, we look at it and we laugh. Oh, really? James Harden is in talks with the Raptors to possibly. No, that's not true. And we're laughing at you for even bringing up a crazy ass idea like bringing James Harden onto the Toronto Raptors at this time. So it's just like, come on, y'all. Let's use our critical thinking skills. Just like this Darko news this morning. Somebody made a graphic. Somebody put a graphic out. Darko will coach Team World at the All-Star. Well, all right, let me go see if that's true. I'll go to ESPN. I think they would report that, right? Let me go to the NBA website. Maybe they'd have it there. I don't know. Maybe one of the reporters for the Raptors might post it, like Blake Murphy or Michael Grange or Josh Lundberg. This is a pretty big deal, right? If Darko's going to be coaching Team World, well, let's fact check this shit and not just take some meme designer's fucking word at being truthful. This is what we have to do, y'all. We have to be way more intelligent than we've ever been before because the world is fake as fuck. It's AI bullshit and all kinds of crazy shit. And we're going to have to use our brains and be critical thinking and say, whoa, does this make sense? Let me go check and get a second opinion. Let me go look in a verifiable source. You can't just take this bullshit as true anymore, y'all. Just because a meme came out, Darko's coaching world team. That's not true. Nobody officially has said that. But some jackass on Reddit posted it, and he's got all these people believing it. So this is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying, man. It's just like that, you know? It's just like that, you know? All right, let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. This is awesome. Stargate saying Raptors have got to up their play now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're in the second half of the season. We're going to be past the All-Star break. We got this homestand right now. We got a back-to-back coming up tomorrow and Thursday with Minnesota and Chicago, and we need to take care of business. That's right. I want to win all of these home games before the All-Star break, and it's not going to be easy. Timberwolves, Bulls, Pacers, and Pistons. Yeah, there's some of these games are, we should get for sure, but some of these games are not going to be easy. I mean, it'll be a lot of fun to get that heavyweight battle with the Pistons finally right before the All-Star break. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun to finally test and see who the Pistons be against the Raptors. That's right. That's right. We got to see this, man. Smith saying apparently the Raptors are very involved in him. They could say whatever the fuck they want. Reggie, this is just like a smooth pickup artist talking to a lady. Listen, honey, I'll take care of you forever. And saying all kinds of crazy ass shit. That's absolute horse shit. That's all I say. Oh, okay, you can believe this. Oh, we've been talking about the Raptors and James Harden. Talking about the Raptors and Domantas Sabonis. Oh, yeah, baby. You can get that. Yeah. Oh, you're so charming. Oh, I believe you. Yeah, you should believe me, honey. I'll be your man. Oh, yes, please. No, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Why are you so gullible? Why? Just because, as Smooth said, they're very involved in him. They're very involved in him. Why are we involved in him? We're not involved with Domantas. This is horse shit. This is absolute crap. Who do we listen to when it comes to this subject? Doug Smith. Just go read Doug Smith's article on this. He'll tell you everything you need to know about Domantas Sabonis and the Raptors. All these other people chiming in with all this bullshit, whatever, man. They're just trying to fuck with us. I wish y'all would stop being the carriers of the disease called the trade deadline. Maybe we should treat it like that. Like, oh, no, it's the epidemic time. It's the time when people get the toxin, the virus gets in them to talk trade talk. Oh, my gosh. No, don't get it. Get vaccinated so that you don't get inoculated with trade talk and you carry it around with you and spread it like a disease. That's the way I'm going to look at it from now on. Trade talk is like a virus, like COVID. And in some ways, we need to contain it. And if you're infected with wanting to talk about it, well, we need to quarantine you. I'm sorry. And sorry, Reggie, if you keep coming in here with symptoms, I might have to quarantine you until the proper period of time has elapsed, which is the trade deadline's over. He's got it. He's got it in him right now. I can tell he's showing symptoms. He said Sabonis, the word Sabonis. He's showing symptoms. Fiercely saying, no Sabonis. No Sabonis. She's right. She's right. Trevor J saying, this is his words of wisdom this morning. Thank you, Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. Trevor, have you added the notorious barbecue combo to the food truck menu yet? I really wish you do this. I want you to make, I know you're in South Florida, and it's like to tie in Raptors stuff down there is not the market. You should probably make like Miami Heat dishes or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you could do a Scotty Barnes tribute because he's from around down there or something like that. Just have some dish that pays tribute to our franchise. I think that the notorious barbecue combo is like a subtle one on the down low. Like if you put that on the menu, it's not so overtly Raptors, but it could be to this to a knowledgeable fan like us. There's somebody comes up the food truck in Florida and say, "Oh, a notorious barbecue combo. Where have I heard that before? Barbecue, notorious. I don't know. Maybe a little secret coding in your menu with this kind of stuff. That's right. That's right. Let's see. His words of wisdom is we are not given a good or bad life. We are given a life. It's up to us to make it good or bad. I like that. I like that. There's definitely privilege and there's definitely comfort and there's definitely luxuries. But everybody in some ways in this society, especially in this part of the world, has a certain level of comfort in their lives, at least right now, to be prosperous and fruitful. It's just that we get in this game of trying to out do each other, where you have to accumulate things to feel better about yourself because you have more than somebody else. It's so stupid. In some ways, it's like if we went minimalist more and we went more anti-consuming and started just using what we had, and we could find happiness in other things than just possessions. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. In some ways, it's just like people that are, don't have a whole lot can be the happiest people in the world because their life is less complicated, because they don't have so much to worry about losing or so much to worry about protecting. In some ways, it's just like, yeah, I just have the basic necessities. I take care of myself. I have food. I have warmth. I have clothing. I have, these kind of things, you can get by. It's crazy. I love this word of wisdom. It really is your outlook, and whether you're greedy or you're playing the game of trying to keep up with the Joneses. I know Trevor Jones is a very wealthy man, and I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. He can be him and he can be fine, and I love him for it. And I want him to be very prosperous and blessed. But my success in my life has nothing to do with his. And in some ways, gauging my life against his or him gauging his life against mine, it's not worth it. In some ways, we're very different people in different places in our lives in all kinds of ways. And if people get caught up with comparison, and it's just not fair. It really isn't, because everybody's got their own set of what happened and where they are and what's to come. We all have different paths. Blessings to the Jones family, especially, and all the families out there. That's right. May blessings just rain down upon the Jones family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's what I'll say right there. That's right. Stargate saying, I have no problem with Sabonis as long as it's not for RJ, Yak, or IQ. I don't want Sabonis on a team at this point. I don't think he fits. I think that I think that there's something weird about, like, once again, I'm not just looking at whether he's a talented player and he's a former All-Star. I'm looking about his impact on teams. And well, he got traded for Halliburton, and the Pacers got over the hump and started winning after him. That's a red flag right there. And well, since he's been in Sacramento, he's been built around, and they've traded De'Aaron Fox, and he's been a dud. And that team's not going anywhere. That's a red flag right there. So in some ways, it's like, listen, every player's kind of got a reputation and a kind of a thing around them as they travel through the NBA. And some of the stuff around Domantas Sabonis is not good, is not encouraging, is not the kind of person that I want to come to the Raptors, actually. And I think the biggest reason why is because he's too similar to Scotty. And I think that in some ways, we don't need him on our team in any kind of way. And if you're going to have a guy who's making almost close to 50 million a year, and he's not a necessary player, he's not the player to be the big. That we don't need this caliber of big. We don't need this price tag for the big spot that we're missing. That's the big thing right here. Once again, these big names like Harden and Sabonis, Davis, Ja Morant, these guys are too expensive for making moves for, and we don't need them. We don't want them, because they're more of a cap headache. We have people complaining all summer about Emmanuel and Jakob and RJ's contracts, and now you guys want to go get a more toxic contract like Domantas's or any of these other players I just named? It just don't make no sense. And it's ridiculous. I'm sick of talking about this shit. I'm serious. This is like a scourge. This is like a virus. Stop being infecting of my stream with this stuff. And maybe Reggie is doing it just to see me go off. Either way, it's part of the enjoyment, I guess. That's right. Isaac's put me on blast. I must have had a good rant there. Trevor's saying I watched some of Kobe Bryant's moves and footwork and shot selection. Ingram does everything like him. I know. I know. I mean, I've known this for years. I knew this way before he came on our team. There's YouTube videos of Brandon Ingram next to Kobe, and they're like mirror images of each other. The footwork, the way that they that's why I said the other day he did Kobe moves in the game against Orlando, because he literally did Kobe moves. He did the exact same kind of jab steps and creating room for himself, and the shot form and everything kind of has echoes and mirrors of him. The only thing is that Brandon's very tall. He's taller than Kobe. So it's like, think about this. It's like, Raptors fans, don't you love having a Kevin Durant sized Kobe Bryant on your team? I mean, the evidence is there. Trevor said he's watching it and he's saying, I see the same thing. I was like, yeah, that's because he did that on purpose. That's because Brandon Ingram loves Kobe Bryant and he ripped him off and he studied him. He very much studied him. And this is all on purpose. Oh, shit. It's like, whoa, this makes me think of Brandon a whole other way. Well, and people that were not knowing this already, yeah, you should think about him a whole different way just from hearing this. You know, another person that has a lot of Kobe in him is, of course, the GOAT, DeMar DeRozan. He studied Kobe a lot too, and he took a lot of his techniques and footwork and attitudes about how he does things too. The legacy of Kobe Bryant lives on in basketball through people that will emulate him. That's right. That's right. And Brandon is probably number one emulator of him in the NBA right now. That's right. Stargate saying, we know BI3 and Scotty are already off limits. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about this shit. It's a waste of time, guys. I don't want to talk about this. I want to be a sanctuary away from trade talk, like especially right now. Especially right now, I might have to make a rule in the next few years that in February we don't talk trade. We can talk about it in January, but we're not talking speculative trades in the final countdown of the trade deadline when it intensifies. I'm going to say, oh, it's February the 3rd. Sorry, guys. We're not talking trades anymore. You know what you can do if you really want to? You can bring me a scout of the day, but no trade talk. We'll do trade talk in January a little bit just to speculate the rumblings. But overall, I'm like, when it intensifies and the media is really looking for clicks and being on clickbaity and all this bullshit and stuff, we're going to ignore it because I'd rather just focus on the basketball games. I'd rather just focus on the standings. I'd rather just focus on the Toronto Raptors that are on the team, that are playing for the team, than trade speculation. I don't know. I might make that February rule, seriously, because I'm sick of this shit. I don't want to do this for the next week or so, as long as this stupid trade deadline is still open. Seriously, I really don't. Monique is saying, I want Dayron. I want Dayron. I want Dayron. See, she's got the right level. She's got the right level of move and that makes sense. That is one that makes sense. It's not, like I said, it's not the home run move. It's the singles, it's the doubles, it's the triples, and it's not necessarily a home run move that's like a huge name. You get a Dayron Sharp, and that may be just exactly the move that the Raptors need in the middle of the season, going for the end of the season. So, yeah, Monique knows her Raptors. If anybody knows her Raptors, it's superfan Monique Lawrence, one of the most purest fans in the Raptors history. She knows her Raptors, and she wants Dayron. And Bobby Webster, listen to the superfan Monique Lawrence, especially if you see her at the game and she has your ear. Isaac saying this, how many Raptors trades at the deadline? 0. That's right. What is the track record here, guys? Marc Gasol, yeah, that made sense in that year. Is there anything that makes sense for them to do for any really weird reason, like to panic or frantic? No. In some ways, Bobby has been public about it, saying that he's very successful this year with the team. The team's done well. Their record's good. They're doing well. He wants to see them go forward and continue to be together and do what they're doing. He's not trying to shake it up. He's not trying to trade major pieces to get James Harden or Domantas Sabonis. Come on, y'all. How many times do I have to explain this to everybody? I mean, seriously, how many times do I have to explain this? Seriously. Reggie's saying, have to be honest, it might be a good idea to get off the Jakob contract. No, it's not. It's not, because Yak's going to be fine. I'm really starting to believe that they're holding him out on purpose for rest. And they really are. Because think about our team in the last few years since Dr. Alex invented load management Kawhi. There was a lot of tough lessons for the Raptors in the 2010s with Kyle and DeMar running them to the ground because we overplayed them during the regular season. And then we get into the playoffs and they were shit. They absolutely played like garbage, and we'd get put out in the first round. These were tough lessons for our franchise, but these are lessons we still know because Bobby's still our team person in charge because he was there when he saw DeMar and Kyle get ran to the ground over the course of the season and were worthless in the playoffs because of very intense, very successful regular seasons with Coach Casey. But could it be that this is part of the strategy? Is like, Jock, we're going to let you sit for a huge chunk of the season, but you're going to be so healthy by the end of the season, and then we're going to play in the playoffs, and you're going to be the regular old Yak. I think this is what we're doing at this point. I think that the back has been so erratic and stuff. In some ways, on the download, they're extra babying him and trying to get him kind of like your phone charged up to 100%. Maybe he's sitting at 85% on his phone charge, but they decided they want to charge him up the last 15%. And if there's no real kind of like thing where it's like you have to be out there because we're struggling, we're drowning, we're underwater, when we need your help so bad with the physicality and things. There was a little worries of that in the past. There was definitely that kind of stuff happening in the last couple of years, but this year, in some ways, we've been able to win still, even without Yak out on the court. That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, I worry about Yak's back, sure, but I want to paint a picture of the most optimistic portrayal of what could happen. And I think what I just said is actually really genius and smart. They don't, and some people on this chat were calling out for it way before I even talked about this. They're saying, like Neil was saying, we should shut him down for a long time and really let him get as rested as possible and fixed, and stop trying to get him out there, especially with the long 82 game season, where in the middle of the season, we can kind of get away with him not being available. So once again, we can obsess about Yak, we can overreact, we can fill in the blanks of the question mark about why the fuck has he been out for so long. I would like to fill it in with this kind of rhetoric, that maybe there is a strategy to rest in him and him getting better right before the playoffs and him being available for our playoff run and being absolutely the 5 and the true center that we need at that time. He's not taking the licks from centers during the regular season. In some ways, he'll be ready more at the postseason. And we are going the postseason, and we do need to think about that. Yeah. Fiercely saying James Harden, Lord help us. Yeah, I don't even know. Just because James is saying this is kind of like a normal thing, like birds fly south in the winter. James Harden asks for a trade and tries to force himself off a team. I mean, this is a pattern we've seen quite regularly with James Harden. He did it in Brooklyn. He did it in Philly. He did it in Houston. And, well, he's doing it in LA now. So it totally makes sense. I mean, yeah, James Harden every couple of years is going to be like, I want to get traded off this team, and I'm going to make you trade me. That's how it is right there. That's how it is. Stargate saying, oh, yes, they just did the DeAndre Hunter trade. So, yes, that Sabonis trade is dead. Yeah, the money doesn't work at this point. That's why it's like they're going to bring this stuff up. Yeah, it has potential to be really, really bad. What does? Well, it's not going to happen because, like, honestly, I think that DeAndre Hunter switched their books up. And I don't think that, like, I think somebody actually pointed this out, whether it's Logical Raptors Fanatic or Blake Murphy. Somebody said somewhere, now that the DeAndre Hunter trade has happened, the Domantas Sabonis deal with the Raptors is dead. So I don't know. You could get news rumors from like 2 or 3 weeks ago regurgitated through Raptors Nation, where I heard this news about Domantas. That shit's from a month ago, and you're bringing it up today. We got to stay current here, guys. That's right. Smooth has got to be trolling. That could be true. I don't want to think Reggie's doing that, man. But maybe he's just trying to get a rise out of me. I don't know. Either way, I said what I said, and I meant it. I meant it. That's right. Let's see. All right, let me see. Where am I in the chat? I lost it. Stargate saying Smooth likes to hear Lex go off. That's why he does that shit. That could be true, actually. He's laughing about it. So, yeah, it could be true. Either way, I love you guys. I love you, Reggie. You're awesome. I know that I'm cantankerous, and I know that I'm like just a raw opinion that comes out as soon as they see stuff. And sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I overreact. Sometimes I'm mean. Sometimes I'm a jerk. And I apologize for that. But I know you guys know me by now. Simply Red. If you don't know me by now, well, this is Lex, and you're gonna get that. I'm completely unfiltered. I'm just reacting to what y'all wrote. But yeah, that's funny. Infamous is saying, "Salute, freaks." Russ got mad at Slim Duck for shooting a three at the end of the game. In my opinion, it's one of the dumbest unwritten rules in basketball. Glad they squashed it at the end. Yeah, I don't even understand it totally. Like, I know we got mad at Tristan in that game last year when he did a dunk right at the end, and like people took offense to it. I mean, I don't remember this being a big deal back in the old NBA. I really don't. Like, I feel like this is kind of goofy. I mean, I get it. We've had people that try to pad their stats right at the end of the game, and that's what Chris was doing. Like his points per game is probably not looking that good. And well, a three right at the end of it will help his points per game look pretty good. And that's all he was explaining to Westbrook in that moment. He hadn't played since the beginning of December. He finally played again. He wanted to get some points, and he hadn't scored. So it's like, I mean, we can't all be you, Russell, the leading point guard scorer in the history of the NBA. It's like, I mean, I get it. I mean, in some ways, it depends on like the score being run up, like how much of a rout it is. If it's really close, I mean, it's piddly shit. I mean, if the clock is on, you should be able to play. And people taking the rest of the game off, like saying, "Oh no, we quit playing," and then you went and scored a cheap basket. Well, maybe you shouldn't fucking quit playing until 0-0. Like, seriously, what is this lazy shit? Oh, we're going to stand around here and we're going to get mad at a guy from running down the court while it's still regulation play and he wants to score all of a sudden? I mean, I don't know. I see both sides. I thought what Thompson did was cheesy and was wrong. But in some ways I can see where it's like, what is the big deal about this? This is a weird thing, man. I'm totally with you, Infamous. I think that people need to chill out on it and stop getting so upset about nickels and dimes. Just a couple points here at the end of the game. Trevor, unless it's like running the score up and making it look really, really bad in some ways. Trevor's saying the trade deadline not coming to the Raptors. It's the North Pole. It's a player you want to get stuck. It's snowing right now. Trevor's saying this kind of shit about the North Pole, and I see beautiful snow just coming down in the yard. And I'm like, great. At least it's not cold. It's actually a really reasonable temperature. It's been really freaking cold in Ontario in the last month when -5 is welcome and you're kind of like, oh man, it's so warm. It's crazy. I'm like, oh man, -5. Wow, we are toasty today. Woo-wee! It's not -20. Man, thank you for reminding me that I'm in the winter right now, Trevor J. Randolph's here. Good morning, Randolph Phillips. Raptor Freaks family, blessings. There are many options available to you in life. However, there's only one option that produces the right result. Choose wisely. I mean, I don't totally believe in like, I think that your destiny and what you do and everything, in some ways, it isn't that serious. I don't. I think that's crazy. Some people get all wound up and stressed out and regret so much because they feel like they didn't do the right things in their life. But that's the problem. They did. It's just that in some ways there's weird gaslighting or weird ways. People will tell them, "Oh, we expected this from you," or "You should have been this," or "You could have been this." And that's all bullshit. You are exactly who you are. Don't let outside forces make you feel bad about where you are in life because it's all cockamamie bullshit. In some ways, to grease the wheels of you to go out and feel impetus to have to do this and work for the man. So I would say this. I don't agree with Randolph's words of wisdom here. He's saying there's only one option that produces the right result. That's not right. You can produce the right result no matter what happens. And that in some ways, if you look at life instead of like something like from that mindset, you'll find that life is really just what it is. And if you trust your inherent path and you're in the flow of abundance and manifestation, there's nothing that has to do with the right option. The options that come to you are the right options. And the ones that come in front of you and happen for you are the right options. And, you could say, oh, man, Lex, you screwed up your marriage because you're an alcoholic and you drank too much and she left you. Oh, I could have all kinds of regrets about that. I could feel like, oh, man, I've made wrong choices. But no, they were all the right choices because that had to happen that way for it to happen that way. And who's to say, once again, I'll circle back to this. Who's to say anybody outside of you understands exactly what your right and wrong choices were supposed to be? That's the other part of it. Yeah, I love Randolph and blessing the Phillips family, but sometimes I'm not always going to agree with you guys' words of wisdom. And the statement, I like the other stuff. There are many options available to you in your life. That's true. But I don't like there's only one option that produces the right result. No, that's not true. That's not true. There's probably thousands and millions of options that will create the right result for the right thing for you at that time in the right path. And in some ways, even if it isn't the right result, because it looks like a mistake or you feel like you made the wrong decision, it's not, because that wrong decision, the mistake is part of the path that's teaching you what you're supposed to learn. Yeah, there you go. Blessings to Phillips family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying Sabonis, the Raptors ain't happening. Sorry, Reggie. That's right. That's right. Get that garbage out of here. That's right. Stargate saying when the dog looks at you. wait. All right. This is a quote. And this is Eckhart Tolle. This is awesome. I love Eckhart. I am a disciple of Eckhart Tolle and New Earth and the Power of Now. He's just amazing, amazing influence on my life. And he has a lot of the keys to happiness. He does. He can teach you how to be happy and how to be content and be all right. All right. This is an Eckhart Tolle quote. It's saying, when the dog looks at you, the dog is not thinking what kind of a person you are. The dog is not judging you. Yeah, I love this. This is so true. I mean, that's the thing, man. One of the things Eckhart talks about a lot is, when you're observing something, like if I'm looking out the window right now at the snow falling on the ground and the trees with the snows collecting on it, I can make embellishments in my mind and judgments about what I see. Like, oh, that tree is green. That tree has snow on its branches. That tree is tall. These are all just manufactured judgments and thoughts in my head. Existence doesn't work this way. This is me labeling. In some ways, it's not like that. There's no words for this. And if you get to the source of existence and just presence, you find this. You'll find this place of just it's called observing without judgment, without like, oh, look at that tree. It is tall and beautiful. Look at that tree. It is small and ugly. No, that's judgment. In some ways, these are just things, and it's just observing. It's very, very kind of like in some ways it's deep, and in some ways it's kind of like it's about nothing. Yeah. Whoa. All right. There you go. That quote of the day is awesome. Thank you for the quote of the day, Stargate. I appreciate that. Blessings to the Stargate family and all this Raptor Freak families. Most saying I'm going to Caribbean night, not tomorrow. So you're going to the Bulls game, I think. The Bulls game is Caribbean night, and it's WWE night tomorrow. Okay. And on Saturday, I want to remind you guys, I'm going to the game on Saturday at Mississauga. Raptors 905, 2 o'clock p.m. game at Paramount Fine Food Center against Grand Rapids Gold, which is the G League team for the Denver Nuggets, Kareem Thomas. And I'm going to go sit at courtside. And it's also the Chinese Lunar New Year game. So they're going to be wearing those Fire Horse jerseys for the 905. They had a unveiling for the jerseys. It was pretty cool. Tyreek Key opening up the package and showing it off, and the different Raptors 905 showing off the new Chinese Lunar New Year jerseys. So yeah, if you guys want to go to that game with me on Saturday, the game's at 2 p.m. and I'm going to try and sit up on the court, and Adriana and I are heading out there. So if you guys want to meet us there, you're welcome to. That's kind of the unofficial next Raptor Freak hangout is the Raptors 905 game, Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. It's the Lunar New Year game also, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I love that Mo's going to Caribbean night. And, well, you're not going to WWE night, though. Okay. That's probably safer. Yeah. Shaq Lindsay saying luxury tax implications and cap flexibility is the reason why Sabonis at this point. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Kareem saying, nice. We get to hear Jack and Matt stuff their face with roadies while trying to call the Raptors on a fast break. I think they got in trouble for that year. I think they did. It was not professional. As somebody with media training that went to broadcast school, we were taught never to do broadcasting with food in our mouths, that it's unprofessional. And, well, they want to have their doubles and whatever they're having. I mean, it sounded like they were drinking some liquor, too, during that game that one time. Kayla Gray getting lit. on the sideline drinking some stuff. Yeah, Jamaican rum or something. I don't know what she was drinking. And they were eating the food in the broadcast booth. And it's like, who's calling the game? You're hearing this. Nobody calling game. Going up and down the court, and they're just eating, man. They're just eating. I mean, I don't know if they'll get to do that again. That's bad TV. And maybe if Jack Armstrong could say something crazy about Ron Jeremy with his mouth full, maybe it'd be all right. I don't know. All right, let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying, plus the fit with the roster doesn't make sense. It absolutely doesn't. It really doesn't. It doesn't make any freaking sense. I could even make the argument not only is Scotty like DeModis, Colin is too. Colin is too. And, do we want to bring in Sabonis and hinder the progress of our rookie, Colin Murray-Boyles? No, we won't. We don't want to do that. He's not the right move. That's right. That's right. Monique is saying this. I love seeing the support behind Brandon Ingram after getting snubbed. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Smooth saying, I thought Lex liked Sabonis. What happened? No, Bryce Lawson really likes Sabonis. I like him as a player. I like him as a person. I stand for Lithuania and Jonas Valanciunas and the history of the Sabonis family, but he's not the right player to be on the Raptors. And the biggest thing that turned me off from Sabonis in recent time is his price tag. Is his number that he makes per year is ridiculous. He's overpaid. They say all this shit about our guys like RJ, Emmanuel, and Jakob, but this dude makes like the same amount as Jakob and Emmanuel put together. So you just think about our fucking fans are going to act with Sabonis around on our team with that price tag, and if he's not playing up to a certain level. So it's like, no. And once again, we just reasoned out that we don't need Sabonis because a lot of what he does, Scotty does. And we don't need him. So, yeah, I like him as a player. I wish him well, but he's not a fit for our team financially or roster-wise. And, but I like him. I'll watch him on Team Lithuania and root for him. I'll in some ways, I'll root for him on the Kings too because I like a lot of the Kings players on that team, but he doesn't need to be on the Raptors. He had nothing to do with the Raptors. No, sir. Shaq Lindsay's saying Sabonis doesn't solve our problems. It only makes it worse. It just makes it more confusing and stupid. And like I said, it is a red flag, his course of his career and shuffled from Indiana to Sacramento and the events that have happened around all that. Has he made the Kings better? No. The Kings are shitty. They may be the worst they've been in the last 10 years or so. They were getting better for a while, but now they're shitty. And is it because Halliburton Fox left? Probably. And Sabonis ain't it. And then the Pacers start going to the finals after Sabonis leaves. Hello. Let's winders this. Let's think about it here. This maybe not the player that we need because he's not adding up the things. That's right. Wasn't Sabonis in OKC as well? I don't think he was. I don't think he was on the Thunder. I'm pretty sure he was just Pacer and Kings. He's only been on 2 teams. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Stargate saying, yeah, Lex is right. The record looks bad with him. Well, I'm just saying, like, you got to look at players and whether they add up to adding more winning. Like, let's take another player in the league that does add up to winning, even though a lot of people think he's a distraction. He's a problem, and that's Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks goes from team to team, and his team's in the playoffs wherever he's at. Well, there's Memphis, Houston, now Phoenix. Phoenix wasn't jack shit until Dylan showed up. Houston wasn't jack shit till Fred and Dylan showed up. Memphis was the best they were with Dylan on their team. So you could look at Dylan Brooks and say, wow, that guy adds up to winning because there's tangible evidence in the standings, in the records. But with Sabonis, it could be the opposite, where you look at it and you're like, holy shit, actually, he adds up to more losing for certain ways. There's just sometimes players that are like this, man. Sometimes like that. Yeah, Shaq Lindsay's saying getting Sabonis would mean that they need a center and more shooters with no money left in the bank. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not about that. I mean, I want to fine tune the bench. I love our starters. I think our starters are fine. Even people saying we got to get rid of Yak. It's just that you guys haven't seen him play in a while and you've forgotten how good he is for us. When you see him come back and he gets back on the court, you'll be reinforced to say, oh, we need to be patient and we need to allow Jakob the space to get healthy. And, oh, yeah, this is who he is. Oh, yeah, I remember Pirtle. Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, I'm so glad he's still on our team. This is what people will be saying when he returns and he has a few games that he's really good in again. And people will be like, it's just that his absence in the void of it, everybody's kind of like, oh, we don't need him anymore. We could get rid of Yak. Oh, I'm so worried about his back. His back is obviously an issue. We should just trade him. This is overreacting. And this, if we're going to do anything with Yak, we'll do it in the offseason, not right now. This isn't the time to trade him. His value is not very good when he's not playing, right? Right? Right. Let's see. Randolph saying, Lex, we do not know as fans what the front office will do, but we will join we do join channels like this to hear the thoughts of the host and the followers on the team we love and support. It makes the content more enjoyable. I like that. Me, in some ways, like this morning with the Rajakovic Team World lie, the bogus rumor that's out there, unless it's official now. I don't know. You guys could break news to me. That's part of what I got to do is I got to fact check and I got to inform and I got to educate Raptors fans so that they're correct and they're actually like talking about things from a factual kind of like basis of like, okay, this is it. A lot of the trade speculation is not facts. It's just opinions. It's bullshit. It's hot air and it drives me nuts. And it's important because it is a job that needs to be debunked. It needs to be looked at realistically and with critical thinking and going through each scenario, whether it's John Morant, Anthony Davis, James Harden, it's important because in some ways, if we put voices out there of reason and logic and truth and fact and in the place of opinion, speculation, subterfuge, and straight up gaslighting, this is important because Raptors fans will run around with different ideas and go all over the place in social media. And the more well-informed we are overall, the better this will be, the less toxic we'll be, the more knowledgeable and intelligent we'll be. So I get you, man. Exactly, Randolph. And in some ways, I do see the need to touch on these subjects. I think the problem I have with it is fatigue over the same issue over and over again. And we go over it all the time. And I'm like, dude, we already talked about this player. We already talked about this scenario specifically. And I feel like a broken record. And that's the thing that's bugging me. Once again, I'll say stuff like I do this show 2 hours a day, every day. I want to use my time wisely. And I don't want to seem like I'm a weird like repeat of an old 80s sitcom that you just keep seeing over and over again because people keep throwing the name Sabonis in my chat or something like that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Stargate saying Sabonis, that is. Kaloy saying, yo, it's real. I see some articles saying Darko will coach the international team. You saying it's real? You seen one article? All right, let me go look at ESPN because ESPN should be saying this, right? They should have this out, right? I don't see anything about it on ESPN. That's probably the first place to look, guys. The second place to look is on Blue Skies for me, and that would be with Blake Murphy and Michael Grange and those guys. So, Chloe, I'm looking for them. Let me see what I see from those guys. I don't see nothing from them. This would be big news, and they would report it right away. So this is not real news, Chloe. It's somebody, like I said, this is why we have to fact check. This is why we have to go to verifiable sources. Somebody made a meme, and they just posted it. And you saying, yo, I see some articles saying he'll coach it. That could be just people seeing that meme, and they're writing off of that. See, this is how bad misinformation and lies can get out of control. That's what I'm saying. We got to find official sources and we got to verify it. Anybody can make an AI image. Anybody can make a meme that says Darko will coach the world team. Doesn't mean it's true. And it could very well be people are trolling. It could very well be somebody heard me say that on the channel the other day and they're like, wow, that's a great idea. I want to put that out there like this. Maybe they're trying to make it come true by announcing it before it's actually true. Could be it is true and they're just ahead of it and we'll get the official word later. There's a lot of different levels to this, but I'm not going to believe it until I see one of the main Raptors reporters report it on Blue Skies. I'm not going to believe it until I see Josh Lundberg say Darko Rajakovic has been named coach of the world team for the All-Star game because there's no guarantees in it. Sure, I can make logic of it. But in a lot of ways, people will say, well, no, the Raptors are the fourth team in the Eastern Conference. They're not the top team. Why should they get a coach in this? We could just pick the third best record, and he's an American guy, and he's coaching the world team. There's all kinds of different ways this could go. We'll monitor it. If it is true, I'll love it. We'll celebrate it. I'm not anti-Darko getting this. It's just that it's not verified. It's not for real yet. It's horseshit right now. Isaac's saying this. Yesterday, hang on, it jumped ahead. Wow, I love that you guys put a lot in here, man. A lot in here. He's saying yesterday I thought Denny Avdia was an all-star, but for the city of Washington, today I realized I was wrong as Washington doesn't believe in futures. Trailblazers. Yeah, you were confused with that, and I caught that yesterday. And I was like, yeah, Washington does not have an all-star, Isaac, because you said, oh, Washington has an all-star. And I'm saying, no, they don't. They have a rising star in Keyshawn George, and Abdia plays for Portland Trailblazers. So he's a Western all-star, and he's an international all-star, unfortunately. Let's see. Chloe's saying, don't worry. It's only a few more days of this rumor mill. Yeah, I know. Well, I can't wait for it to get by. Seriously, I can't wait. I really can't. Trevor's saying, why do we want grandpa on the court with his grandkids? You're talking about James Harden? Why would we want James Harden? Is that what you're saying? You calling him a grandpa? Crazy, man. That's wild. It was saying Harden is looking for an $80 million extension. He's not coming to us. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This man's not living on planet Earth in the reality. Obviously, who's going to pay him that money for what he does? Seriously, who's going to pay him that money for that? Nobody's going to pay him that. This man must be delusional like Ben Simmons. He's living in a Ben Simmons world. You are living in a Ben Simmons world. James Harden, you are an idiot. You know this. You are living in a Ben Simmons world. You are delusional as fuck. A delusional world. Reggie's saying, I do like Sabonis as a starter only. He can't come off the bench. That's the other part of it. I really like our starting five, guys. I've seen it when it's out on the court, and they are awesome, and they work well together. And once again, we have been building these guys together in practice. They are building chemistry and gelling. And in some ways, when you build, you want to keep that chemistry building. And that's one of the things that's kind of insidious about the trade deadline and all the movement in the NBA is it's a weaponized thing to stop teams from getting established with gel and chemistry over time. The movement in the NBA has been horrible for the quality of the NBA. Not gonna lie. Everybody thinks it's so exciting to have player movement and all this stuff, but the 80s and 90s were good because teams had identities and they had contingencies of guys who stuck around and played for their team. Sure, it's good for freedom for the players financially to make better quality contracts and have decisions and leverage. But the old NBA, part of the thing that was so awesome was the Pistons were the Pistons year after year. The Bulls were the Bulls year after year. The Celtics were the Celtics year after year because the same guys kept coming back. And you had like a core of 7 or 8 guys that were on the team for like 5 years. And there was no shuffling up the teams over and over again. They had their identities and they could actually build a body of work over time and more familiarity. Guess what happens? The quality of the NBA games is higher because the team knows each other better. But the shuffling up of the rosters in the NBA over and over again is part of the why the quality of the game looks like shit, is because nobody can get established roots and connections. Part of the reason why Golden State has been so successful, because they're one of the few fucking teams in this league that's allowed to keep their core over a long period of time. We can look at the Celtics right now with Tatum and Brown. They've been able to keep those guys together as a team. Why do these teams get to do this? Because on the down low, NBA knows the secret to being good and staying good is keeping a core together. So with that information, wouldn't they weaponize player movement, the trade deadline, and all this other bullshit to try and entice teams and players to want to change scenery and shuffle it all up? When I just told y'all, if you keep things in the garden, you stop taking them out of the ground and replanting them in different places, they'll actually take and be more healthier and grow into the system of your yard better. I mean, this makes sense to me. I think that Adam Silver, if he's really not kidding himself, the free agency and movement in the NBA has hurt the product of the NBA because nobody knows how to fucking play with each other as teammates because they're shuffled up so often and so different every year. Like that dude who does things like the simple thing is like, oh, the phone's not turning on. You know what I'm talking about. That guy makes millions of dollars off TikTok or something like that. It's crazy. All right, straight goods on Canadian goods, guys. I went to the Home Hardware in my nearby community recently, and I purchased seeds. That's right. I'm getting ready for planting season. In fact, I planted some stuff this weekend already. Some tomatoes. I put them in a little egg cart, and I'm got a heating pad, and I'm starting my garden now. Isn't that crazy? I know there's a ton of winter out there still, but guys, Ontario Seed Company is a fantastic place to get your seeds. A Canadian place. There's the logo for them. OSC, Ontario Seed Company. I've got all kinds of stuff here. I've got the beans. I've got their beets. I've got the carrots. I've got the radishes. I've got the peas. I've got the lettuce. You know, you go if you want to start growing your own food, you know, you got to buy seeds. So I would say buy it from Ontario Seed Company. It's a Canadian seed company. It's local, and most of their stuff, of all of their stuff for the most part, is native to our region. And you know, we're supporting Canadian industry. So yeah, go out and get your seeds, get your seed bank ready for when you're ready to grow this spring. And I'm already started, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to start trying to do stuff right away because I want to have a jump on my growing season this year with my plants. So yeah, Ontario Seed Company. Look them up. And you know what? If you never grew nothing, get into it this year. Trust me. If I encourage one person to start gardening and grow their own food a little bit today, just by showing you guys these seeds, I have done a good job, is what I'll say right there. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, let's see. UC's here. Good morning to Raptor Freak UC. Good to see you back in the chat, my guy. Good morning, Raptors gang. I cannot believe I'll be going to my first regular season game this month. That's awesome, man. You haven't been to a Raptors game this season or ever. Is that what you're saying, UC? Man, that's awesome. If you're coming to the Raptors for the first time ever, that is amazing. Which game are you going to? Let me know, too. I'd love to find out which game you're going to. Stargate saying, Smooth, you are getting a little milbesterous with this Sabonis talk. Maybe a little bit. Smooth saying he does fit the Darko profile of a 5, passer, high post, low post with 3-point shot, rebounds a lot. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we need to do this. It's kind of like, all right, we've been building a house already. We're at the stage where we've got a basement and a foundation for sure from the building up the last 2 years. Now we're getting a real part of the house where we can live in. Well, do we want to rip out the bathroom all of a sudden and put a different bathroom in just because Sabonis is available? No. We got these things on our team the way we want to, even if that bathroom would fit in the house. It's just more work and more energy and paying more to get that shit done. And I had my bathroom remodeled this winter, and man, it took a while. That's why I was at a hotel. So I'm just saying, man, it's like even if he's a good fit, even if he's a Darko kind of player, we don't need to do this. And renovations to your house just for the sake of doing renovations to your house, you need to have a reason to do it because there's a problem, and there's no problem we don't need to fix. That's what I'm saying. There's not a problem that he fixes here. Let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying, I have a small trade that makes more sense than some of these nonsensical big trade rumors. Sharp and Thomas for Oshai and Dick, plus future first 27 pick and maybe 2 seconds. Think about Sharp expiring. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if we need to go get Cam Thomas. I mean, I guess maybe to supplement some of the loss with the Jayhawks going the other way is you know, maybe that we need one of those kind of players at that position. And Cam Thomas is kind of a scorer guy. He could be actually pretty helpful with our bench scoring. But he won't be starting. That's for damn sure. He will not be starting. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm not against this deal. If Bobby finagled something similar to this, Shaq Lindsay, I would be like, that's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal. Smith saying, I know, I'm intrigued by him. See, I like Grady. I wouldn't trade him. Yeah, I would trade Grady today. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Grady, in some ways, is pissing me off. And in some ways, like, if he was more of a keeper for sure last year, but not this year. And that's how things change. You got to keep your stock up in the NBA. You got to keep your reputation. You got to keep your production. You got to keep who you are. And in some ways, Grady's lost who he is this year. And I like him to reclaim that and get back to it in a solid way, in a showing a consistent way. But man, no, to me, I'm not protecting Grady at this point. Man, maybe I said something like that early on when we were starting to see his prospects and who is coming, but he's not that valuable to try and protect. Honestly, he's not that valuable. If he blows up and becomes an amazing player in this league, I'll be shocked at this point. I'm gonna tell you right now. I want to have faith in Grady Dick, but I don't. I don't. because this league is cutthroat. This is not a fairy tale. This is not Rudy, where somebody just goes and does amazing things athletically because it's a storybook in a movie. This is real life. And there's a ton of guys just like Grady. I mean, we could look at somebody like Adam Morrison. Yeah. Adam Morrison was a very high draft pick. What was his NBA career? There's a lot of different guys throughout the history that can show you different things. Our trivia subject today is who Grady should try and be. Honestly, you could have a very long 9-year career, just like Jason Capono, if you became a specialist like Capono. But you have to be able to shoot almost 50% from three, Grady. That is what you have to be Jason Capono. I wish you were like Jason Capono right now. That's what we want you to be, Grady, is Jason Capono. If you could fucking be Jason Capono or Matt Thomas, that would be fantastic. But in some ways, you're not hitting any open threes, so you're not. So that's the thing. You want to be in this league a while, you may need to be like Jason Capono, my guy. Some people are trying to say, oh, he could be this person. He could be Tyler Hero. He could be what's another one that they've said in the past that Grady could be like? He should be like this person. I don't believe that. I don't see it. His development is fucked up this year, man. His development is fucked up this year. Some of it is his confidence, and some of it is just like he's a dud. He's just a fucking dud right now, man. Sorry, man. I mean, this is somewhere we may diverge a little bit. Shaq Lindsay's saying Deal and Thomas and a sharp shooter off the bench. What? Deal and Thomas, a sharp shooter off the bench. Thomas is a free agent next year, so there's no commitment. Plus, the trade would put us under the luxury tax. I'm not worried about the luxury tax at all. That's been a boogeyman that people have brought up over and over again. Our team, compared to most teams, are not having issues with balancing. We're going to be fine. It's just chicken little league. But, we'll probably make a move that will do the job to get us the right place for that. That probably will be how it happens. Although it could just be the incentives don't happen. That's the other way. Reggie's saying, for me, Oshai is expendable. Grady has way more upside. Not to me, man. I think Oshai Abaji is a better player than Grady ever will be right now. Yeah. I think that Oshai is a more complete, better NBA player than Grady is ever going to get to. I don't think he'll be better than Oshai is on our team now. That's how bad I think it is for Grady at this point. Seriously. This is my educated opinion watching the NBA for almost 50 years. And just watching players and their development and what's happening with them, I'm telling you right now, Oshai Abaji is going to be a better NBA player than Grady Dick, and he already is an better NBA player than him right now. Because this is the problem. The side of Grady on the defensive side is a dud. He's absolute liability, and at least with Walter and Abaji, the other side is fruitful and useful. If Grady can't do shit on defensive end, he's not a better player than Oshai Abaji. That's the thing. If Oshai wasn't in a certain position with his contract, I would be like, we need to keep Oshai. But he's in a certain position where I feel like we should probably trade him. I'm like, Grady, we don't have to trade him. I'm like, we could trade him. We could trade him. I'm not worried about keeping a placeholder on Grady Dick right now. Seriously, if he's going to fucking get better and come back and revenge us, so be it. I doubt that shit. I doubt that shit. I really do. And Grady, if you heard me and you did get traded and you come back and revenge me, use it as ammo. Sure. Sure. But right now, I have no faith in you. No faith whatsoever. Because even with the little bit of bright spots that we've seen in the last month, the duds come back around more regularly and more often than the bright spots. And I'm sick of this shit. In some ways, we could have had a more fuller potential as a team this year if y'all on the bench had been more solid and potent in your minutes off the bench instead of wasting our time running around doing cardio and getting zero points and missing all your open threes. I'm being harsh because I'm frustrated. In some ways, I'll take a slump from a player like Emmanuel at the beginning of the game season or Scotty for a little while, but they come around and they have periods of time where they show they're true and they're good and they're fine. Grady has not done this for me this whole year. There's been blips and little spots where he's had one good game here, and maybe he's had 3 or 4 good games this whole and fucking entire season right now. And to me, that's a fail. That's a dud. He's not reliable. And I'm getting worn out on my patience with how he's doing to say, oh, this is a guy we need to continue to trot out there and try and play every night. Seriously, he's lucky he's gotten to play in every single game so far this season. Because in some ways, maybe another coach wouldn't be supporting him so much, and they would have fucking benched him for a while just to get him a fucking figure it out. Man, I'm being harsh on Grady for sure, for sure. Stargate saying this at Smooth that the record shows that Demotis has played for 3 NBA teams, all of which were terrible when he was on the team, 2 of which got better when he left. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm seeing, man. That's what I'm seeing. Shaq Lindsay's saying I'm still waiting for his upside. Me too, man. That's what I'm saying. He has an upside. He has a career that he could be in, but that's only as on a shitty team where he's getting a lot of minutes and the team doesn't win hardly at all. And that was the Raptors last year. Great. He can be a starter in the NBA, but he's going to be a starter on a team that doesn't make the playoffs. Let's just put it that way. It would be like that, you know. Shaq Lindsay saying at this point, can you really say that in a playoff series we will see the best of Dick? I don't know. This could be the one thing that could save him in my eyes. Okay, Grady, go ahead and have a shitty regular season the whole entire year, but in the playoffs you're just magnificent and amazing and at a whole other level. Wow, I'll forgive it. I'll forgive you so much for that. And I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm with Grady. I'll ride with him. There's still chances for him to fix things. It's just that he needs to show the consistency I've been longing for all year at some point. Maybe he has a month where he's making his threes the way he's supposed to. By the end of the season, that could help. Like, I want a whole month. I don't want like 2 games. I want a whole month where he's on fire and he's making his shots. And if it's in the playoffs, that's fantastic. You can be a playoff hero and get in my good books real fast, Grady Dick. And if that's that's something that happens, I'll be so happy. I'm not rooting against him. I want him to succeed. I'm not hating on Grady. I'm just frustrated with Grady. And I want Grady to stop fucking wasting his life, get up off his ass, and fix his NBA career. Is what I want right now, man. That's what I want, man. Stargate saying Lex Sabonis was on Oklahoma City. He was on Oklahoma City. See, I don't even remember that. He must have been there. Was he really there? Like for how long? Well, let me go look at his basketball reference. That's weird, man, because I don't remember that at all. That's weird. He must have been there very early in his career. He was there his rookie year for like 81. He was there for 1 season in his rookie year. Okay, I have completely forgotten that. Okay, you're right. He was there, but I don't know how we can kind of correlate that into the discussion about him leaving and going because Oklahoma City, in some ways, I don't know, like they were going to be on their path to what they were doing because of SGA no matter what, right? Right. Okay. So I appreciate that for fact checking me and showing me he was playing for them his rookie season. Okay. Kessler was saying, yeah, he was there with Oladipo and then traded to Indiana with him. Okay, cool. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I mean, I wasn't truly paying close attention to the Thunder around that time, so that may be part of it right there. Let's see. Smooth saying, of course we need him back, Lex, but when will he be back? That's the question. Well, it's not for us to determine. Once again, we got to understand what we can and can't control. And if we want to have consternation and stress and upsetness about it, that's our own damn fault. We don't need to do that. Let's take a stoic approach and just say whatever will be with Jakob will be, and we'll get what we get. And, on the inside, we can trust Dr. Alex Silver and Bobby Webster and the front office of the Raptors to be managing him with some sort of strategy and plan, maybe like what I described. We could get like this about everybody. I'm surprised you guys aren't bringing up Shamshay every other week. What's going on with Shamshay? What happened to Shamshay? Oh, we learned with Koloko. You guys can ask me about Koloko every fucking week. I don't know. There's no news about Koloko. There's nothing about Koloko. This is kind of a similar situation, whether it's Koloko, Shamshay, or Pirtle right now, is that, these guys are just mysteriously gone. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens over time, and we'll get the answers. But I really am liking to put out propaganda, and this is propaganda. This is my opinion. This is my idea that possibly the Raptors are holding Yak for saving his health for the season, for the postseason to be able to be used. And that makes sense to me, right? I think that would make sense to most of y'all. It's a regular season. These games don't count as much. And in the philosophy of load management, maybe Yak is sitting out partly because of that. That's the question. Well, there you go. Stargate saying, yeah, opining on frivolous, nonsensical prattle is not enjoyable. Jimmy saying Sabonis is a bad idea, especially for the reported package. Hell of an overpay that puts our team back. Once again, a lot of the deals that are reported and speculated are horrible deals that don't help us. I saw some piece of crap that had us getting Jaden McDaniels and Cole Anthony or something like that in the last couple of days. And I'm like, why do we want these players? Like, this doesn't make any sense. It's like, remember, people don't respect us in the States, and they're going to throw these trade packages and ideas together with us at a detriment without even thinking about whether we would even want the thing that they're doing. That's how unrealistic they are. They're just like, oh, well, the Raptors have no feelings or no strategy as a team. What they're doing is not smart. We'll just throw all the discarded guys and the weird shit towards them in any 3-team deal we put out there. You know, we got to understand this, man. We got a smart team. We don't make mistakes. And half of these trade ideas are absolutely horrible ideas that the Raptors would never do. Never, ever do. Never, ever, 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 ever do. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Smooth saying, I'll keep going back to this. A back injury is the most serious and prolonged one. It doesn't heal and only be managed. Well, there's a lot of players that played part of their NBA careers with a very serious back injury, and they were fine and to an extent. Larry Bird's a good example. Larry Bird was hurt most of the second half of his career with his back injury. He managed it, and he still was able to play. You know, Larry Johnson had a severe back injury, and he continued his career even though he lost some of his flight ability. You know, this is something that can be managed. And once again, I mean, to me, if there's no news about him, let's just put him on the shelf and just let him do what he's doing and forget about him. Nitpicking about him every day, bringing up Jakob this, Jakob that, it's not worth it right now. There's no news on him. So once again, it's another thing that's just annoying, like a repeat sitcom over and over again. You've seen the same episode over and over again. I want fresh content, Reggie. And if you're going to be one of my producers to help me with content, I don't want you giving me garbage. I don't want you bringing me shit that's like making me sound like a repeating robot. I want to keep it fresh. I want new topics. How about that? That's what I want right there. You keep bringing it up, well, I'm going to be annoyed with you. And I'm going to be like, why are you bringing up Pirtle every day? There's no update on him. You can have your opinions about back injuries and all that stuff. That's fine. But there's nothing to report or talk about with him that's fresh or new. So I would ask you to respect not bringing him up over and over again. If there's news, we're going to talk about him. Trust me. But speculating over and over again, oh, I think we should trade him. Oh, his back is a problem. I don't want to hear this garbage because you know how I stand with the players. And, you know, just because a player's out, talking about wanting to trade him because you think he's damaged goods, that's not the right energy. That's not the right attitude. Let's just put it that way. Jimmy's saying this, Grady or Jacoby, hang on, starting shooting guard. Hell nah. If I'm picking between the two of them, it's Jacoby. It's Jacoby because Jacoby can guard guys. And he's a really, if Jacoby's not making any shots, I at least know he's after people and he's on top of them. And he is just really guarding people tight. That's at least I know that. Grady can be like that too, but to an extent, his ability is limited also in that respect also. That's right. Isaac's saying, I know we overpay for food, but we're not getting Sabonis for that price. As much as I like Sabonis and eating. Yeah, he's no. And that, once again, let's just stop talking about Sabonis. Kareem saying, fuck Sabonis. All we need is a backup center to hold the spot until Yak comes back. Why would people want to gut the team that we got? We're in fourth, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Tied with Cleveland, but with the tiebreaker, we have the same record as them. And the Celtics and the Knicks are above us with the same record between the two of them. That's right. UC saying, my first ever Raptors game was preseason in Montreal back in 2024. My first ever regular season game is going to be the Thunder and going to be against the Thunder and the Spurs. So you going to both those games. Wow. That's after the All-Star break. Yeah, that's fantastic. So he's coming to see Wemby and SGA. That's a big trip, UC. That's a big trip. I'm really excited for you, man. That's awesome. I'm going to give you a dunk, man. This will be fantastic first regular season games for you, my guy. This is a real Raptor freak. And I love the fact that he's coming to Toronto to go to these games. I really do. All right, UC, you got your first dunk of the year. You're a notorious BI3 right now, man. That's awesome, man. That's such a good feel-good story, man. I agree. I don't know what you mean, Shaq Lindsay. I agree. Grady being himself a dick. Is that what you think, Trevor? Let me go look at the Instagram stories and let's see what's going on. Fred VanVleet is celebrating Alperen Sengun. He got a 39-point, 16 rebound, 5 assist game. And he's saying it's a new month. You didn't get All-Star. You could still get replaced for All-Star. But in some ways, Sengun is one of the biggest snubs in the All-Star game. I'm going to say that right now. I believe that. I do believe that. Let's see. Freddie is putting more of Alpi on blast with a sick no-look dime to Tate. Let's see. Kyle Lowry is posting old Slam articles, which is weird. He posted a Master P article, Kareem Thomas. He posted the article of him and Drake and DeMar from Toronto days before the Six God article. And then he's got the cover with the Raptors the year after Kawhi left. The after ours, the cover with OG, Mark, Fred, Kyle, Pascal, Norman, and Serge on that cover. That was a hard Slam cover. I love how Lowry, he doesn't give a shit about posting Raptors related stuff, even as a current Philly player. He probably posts more Raptors related stuff in the last month than Philadelphia stuff. Seriously, because he's been putting our team on blast since we had the Love Fest last month. So it's interesting. CBL is saying this: the winningest coach in CBL history, Victor Razzo, transitions to advisory role in Niagara. So I guess he's going to be coaching college a bit there. That's interesting. CEBL news. Also, Prince Oduro has been signed to the Honey Badgers, and some news there. Keyshawn Barthélemy is going to be on the Montreal Alliance, and they've also got a signing for what team is that? That is Justin Jackson's going to be playing for Vancouver Bandits. Okay, interesting. RJ Barrett celebrating Scotty's all-star berth. I love that. Grady Dick has posted the speech of Jelly Roll at the Grammys. Yeah, he didn't post anything about Scotty getting all-star, by the way. He posted a speech by Jelly Roll, who's very gaunt at this point. He's lost a lot of weight. I know that he was in a wrestling match in the last year. And of course, he's one of the biggest stars in commercial fake ass produced music. And he's a manufactured star. Trust me. In some ways, he's authentic, but he's not totally. But I like the message that Jelly Roll said at the Grammys. And this is the message that Grady has for everybody, is that Jesus Christ, religion, and belief is not a one political party thing. They don't own it on one side. Now, the one side, the bad side, the side that is the White House and the idiots that are running the United States right now, try to co-opt religiosity and Jesus Christ and being a Christian as being, just their party. And that, the message here is great. It's like Jelly Roll saying that no one political party owns Christianity and Jesus Christ and faith in Christ. And Grady's echoing that. And I love that. That's a good message. And I'm with that. It's interesting that he posted this, honestly. It's interesting. AJ Lawson's got a picture of him walking around outside. Serge Ibaka looks like he's posted something from Africa. I'm not sure if he's actually there. It looks like he might be. Maybe not. He's just kind of posted some guys are carrying a table down the street. I don't know where they're going with that. That's interesting. Some guy was doing an impression of Eugene Omoruyi on an airport runway, and it's kind of funny. Eugene posted it. It's like they're making fun of him, but Eugene likes it. He thinks it's funny. Garrett Temple is showing off a dunk he did in practice. He actually got up there and threw it down. That's pretty cool. Raptors 905 has specialty games coming up this month, and on the 5th, in 2 days, they're going to have a school day game. It's the Bell Let's Talk game against Grand Rapids Gold, 11 a.m. on February the 5th in 2 days. So there is a day game. Maybe I'll do a watch along. Maybe not. I don't know. The game I'm going to on Saturday at 2 p.m. is the Lunar New Year game. February the 8th will be local vendor market and youth basketball game. That is against the Motor City Cruise. And that is the next day on Sunday at 2 p.m. And then on the 28th, it will be Black Heritage game where they wear the Black Heritage jerseys on the 28th against Greensboro Swarm. And that's a 2 p.m. afternoon game also. Let's see. OG has got a post of him with Simu. And this is interesting. He's posted a picture with a guy in New York shirt and Simu of Toronto, a great Canadian actor, with OG. And he posted it. Simi said, Toronto misses you, OG. And OG posted it. He posted it. It says, Toronto misses you, and Toronto man's there with him. I wonder how Knicks fans feel about that. Just like Philly with Kyle. How they feel about that? I don't know. I don't know. James Wade's putting on blast Sarah Strong, who's on the cover of the Slam magazine from UConn. There is the Slam magazine. Raptors have dropped it, and we see it now. The cover with Scotty and Brandon on it. Cold front is what it says on the front. And yeah, there you go. I love it, man. I love seeing Scotty and Brandon on the Slam magazine. I might have to go get this issue just to have a copy of it. I have some very classic, important Raptors Slam issues, like some old Vince Carter ones. Yeah, I went and picked up some of those collector's items. That's right. Let's see. Slim Duck is putting on blast Hugo Gonzalez. He's as a rookie leader for plus minus. That's interesting. Colin Murray-Boyles is celebrating Black History Month, and he's very, very proud of Black history and all the people have contributed in all kinds of different ways and positive for Black history. That's right. Siakam is showing off his all-star. In some ways, some people are saying he should have been an all-star. I don't believe that. He should have been an all-star, and he is. That's right. Was announced yesterday. Guys, the first ever Toronto Tempo game is going to be a preseason game, and it's going to be on April the 29th at the Coca-Cola Coliseum, and it'll be the Toronto Tempo versus the Kinetic Sun. So there is a preseason game announced as of yesterday for Toronto Tempo that is technically not a regular season game, but it's going to be one of the first games they play. So it won't count. Maybe this is the game I need to go to. Maybe. April the 29th, 7 p.m., Connecticut Sun, Coca-Cola Coliseum. That's the deets, y'all. Let's see. Kelly Olynyk is celebrating his coach for being the all-star head coach, Mitch Johnson. Let's see. Mercedes, Sandro's fiance, is celebrating Black history. She's saying there's no American history without Black history. Happy Black History Month. I love that. Norman Powell's getting so much love for his all-star recognition, including from his lady, Bella, who's saying he's an all-star in my life already. We love you so much. So amazing to see the love pouring out for former Raptor champion Norman Powell on his all-star birth. There's your Instagram stories for today. Interesting stuff. Grady posting jelly roll from the Grammys. Interesting stuff, man. Most giving me my cutoff. W Stream, W Vibes, go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Free Crew strong forever. Just help me limit the comments. I appreciate you, Mo, as a producer on this channel. I appreciate you giving me my cutoff. And, well, I'm close. Look at this. We're going to land the plane right around 2 hours. We got to do that classic card. We'll see how much more comments I got in the section here, and we'll go from there. Kesper's saying, I find most of our former players that are known for chucking shots will get revenge games on us, but mostly on unsuccessful teams with no effective systems that lead to championships. That's right. And what is the assignment here? Is the assignment to be a refugee camp to save people from other teams? Is the assignment to be a dumping ground for bad, toxic contracts, or to be a development team for people to come steal our players? No, the assignment here is to win Larry O'Brien's here in Toronto. And what we are doing and what we are building is supposed to be in logical sense to go towards that. And that's what I'm saying right there. That's what I'm saying right there. Kesper's got the right head on his shoulder on this too. Shaq Lindsay saying, smooth. Sabonis isn't Kawhi. This isn't a splash move. This is a small drip in the bucket. I think that it's just something that's, you know what, we've got better guys doing what he would do for us. Scotty's better than DeMatteis. And in some ways, I would say this. You don't have Scotty Barnes and DeMatteis Sabonis on the same team. So make your choice, Raptors fans. I don't think you have both of them on the same team. It's very much like you probably don't have Giannis and Scotty on the same team because Milwaukee wants Scotty if we're getting Giannis. So make up your mind, Raptors fans. In some ways, you're making that deal. Realize your Barnes is probably going the other way is what I'm saying, man. It won't improve our chances of the playoffs. Yeah. I don't think Sabonis is that kind of player, the winning building block that we need. You know, people like Elijah Martin and Jamal Shed are more winning building blocks toward what we need than Sabonis in some ways. Seriously, man. Yeah, Shaq Lindsay saying, thank you, Lex. My point, my sentiment exactly. I have no more patience for Dick. You know, I'm in some ways I'm bringing it up today because we're talking about it. But on the down low, I've already been frustrated with him. But I've been trying not to throw him under the bus too much on this channel. But I'm getting frustrated, man. I'm just getting frustrated at this point because we saw flashes of it in the West Coast road trip. And now we've come back, and these games since we've come back, he has not shown up. And it sucks, man, because I want him to turn the corner for the season and just show that he's back in a certain level. And it's just not happening. In some ways, he has to understand The bench stuff is you have to be potent. You have to be quality. You can't have quantity to get to your quality. You have to have quality, and quality will get you to quantity later. So if you need a runway of quantity to have quality, Grady, you're fucked, man. You are fucked because you can't. You have to be a dead eye right from the start. You have to be warmed up and ready. You have to be like, as soon as I get an opportunity, you have to be aggressive and hungry and be like pissed off because I'm sick of people saying I'm missing everything. I'm coming out there to fucking make it. So that's the thing that pisses me off because he comes advertised as a shooter, somebody who can very much be a high skill. And if he's so high skilled, why isn't the fuck he pulling himself out of the mud by making these shots? That's what I'm saying. In some ways, he's a fraud to me because, dude, you got these wide open shots. You should be money. These should be like free throws to you. That's the way you have to be in this league to be like Jason Capono. A 3-point shot should be like a free throw to you. If you're really all that in a bag of chips as a 3-point shooter in this league. And that is the card that you have to prominently hold first, Grady, in your career, because you're not going to be more well known as a defender. You're not going to be more well known as a slasher cutter, scorer at the basket. You're going to be more well known for shooting threes. So if you can't even make your bread and butter when it's wide open consistently for the whole year, you're fucked. You're not going to be in this league. That's just the way it is. Cold, hard facts. And I hate that because I want to be wrong and I want you to succeed. And I want you to stick around, but you have to do it, my guy. I'm not going to say you did it just to say you did it because I'm a Raptors fan that's trying to just live the best life for the Raptors. No, you have to do it. I have to be real about it. And until you do it, man, I'll be quiet about it. I don't want to harp on him every day, but today I'm going in on him a little bit. I'm just trying to, in some ways, wake up call right now. That's right. Stargate saying Larry Bird, Larry Johnson, David Robinson, all guys that have had back injuries. Yeah. Can we get Orlando Robinson back? No, because he's a two-way and they got him locked down in Orlando. He is not coming here. And we had our chance. If we wanted him, we should have kept him then. That's right. Yeah. All of them never the same. It's true. All of them never the same. But still, even if Yak is not exactly as good as he was right before the injury, he's still going to have some sort of level. We'll assess it. You think that, all right, I would also say this. Bobby Webster and Alex McKechnie and the rest of the staff for the Raptors are astute and know what they're doing. And they're going to decide what the right time is to do whatever. And, well, when they figure it out with Yak, they're going to do what they're going to do, and we'll see it then. But right now, we just need to be patient. And honestly, you know what? Grady's playing. I can talk about Grady, but Yak's not. And in some ways, in his absence and his ability not to be out in the court, we shouldn't be over-talking about him, overhyping, because you're adding just noise in general, Reggie. That's not necessary. Let's just leave him on the shelf, forget about him for right now, and concentrate on who's on the court for right now. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, mere shells of what they used to be after injury. That's not true. That's not true. Larry was very good for most of his career, even with the back injuries. He played through the pain. He still had that high level. Whatever. David Robinson still played pretty good. He got his championship late with Duncan in his career after his back was messed up. So you want to paint it in a negative light, you go ahead. That's your mindset. Mine is not like that. You know, you want to say Jakob Poeltl's career is over? You go ahead and start saying that yourself. I'm not going to say that. In some ways, I'm disappointed in you for not standing with Jak. Honestly, that's what I'm going to say, man. Let's see. All I'm saying is a very popular player gets traded, don't get pissed. Oh, I will. We're allowed to react and be ourselves and act the way we are because we have emotions and we're human beings. No, I can get pissed if somebody gets traded that I don't want to get traded, for sure. And I will. And you might want to tune in that day because it might be very entertaining. So, yeah, you can't tell me I can't get pissed. I can get pissed. I do it on this channel all the time. And I will. Honestly, I will. You can tell that right now. I learned my lesson from Siakam. Well, we could look at how I dealt with Siakam. I mean, we knew Siakam was going to come. This is the thing. None of this shit is having to come what you're talking about right now. We knew that Siakam was going to have to happen. So we had a lot of warning. And it was really about brokering the deal and get it the right place. I had no problem with Siakam's deal. I thought that we should have gotten better for him back, but over time we realized, and I said this at the time, give it time, let them cook, let them do some more things with the assets we got for Siakam, those first-round picks, and we'll see who Siakam eventually comes. And well, it led to Brandon Ingram. So it's like, nah, I didn't overreact to Siakam getting traded because I knew it was happening months in advance. It wasn't a surprise, and we were all getting ready for it already. This we don't have to do. This would be a shock. This in some ways could be questionable. Like, why would you do this now? So this is a totally different kind of scenario in some ways. And yeah, if there's certain things, I will reserve the right to get pissed. I didn't get pissed about Siakam because I knew that had to happen. And it was, and honestly, a lot of people got pissed off about it because they saw who got traded for him. And they're like, oh, this is not worth Siakam. And they got all mad about it. I didn't get mad in that because I had the wisdom to know this isn't exactly who Siakam's going to be in the return. For right now, this is what it is, but it will change and morph over the years, like it has to where it is now. So, we got to be astute about this. That's right. We got to be astute and open-eyed and smart about it. That's right. Classic card. Adriana wants the classic card. Oh, yeah, it's right at 2 hours. Shaq Lindsay saying, Lex, I know you don't like to talk about politics, but Epstein file revealed some horrific stuff that the rich and powerful want us to be silent and forget. This would be an injustice to all those victims that came forward, for sure. I mean, it's not anything that we didn't kind of already understand on the down low. It's just now there's evidence, and now it's very much out in the open. I mean, this world has always been kind of like injustice for all. Yeah, right. It's not equal. If you have money, you can get yourself out of a lot of stuff, and this is the highest levels of it. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be done to get the world morally right back to the place where it's just and justice. There's a lot that needs to be done right now because there's a ruling class of oligarchs and very rich people that don't believe any of the rules apply to them. And they've been living lives of a moralistic degradation that is just fucking horrific and fucked up, man. Seriously, I can't do this right now, Shaq Lindsay, because I will talk about this for crazy. Yeah, the law doesn't apply to the rich and powerful, so we need to fight until it does. Well, that's the thing. Like, we may get to a point where it's like the French Revolution, where the powers that be abuse their top part and the masses have to regulate and kick all their asses out and establish a new system that's more just and right and equal for everybody, because they have gotten away with this. They've been robbing us from the top blind with tax breaks. SpaceX gets so many $billions and Elon doesn't pay any taxes. And that's basically our tax money going straight to Elon. I mean, they're grifters. This is just high level con men. This is high level, no scruples kind of criminals they run very mafioso and organized crime like, except they're legitimate and they've been in front of us as like people to look up to as heroes and shit. No, they're fucked up, man. They are pedophiles and they rape 13-year-old girls and choke them out and bury them in the yard. That's the kind of shit we're finding out. And I listen, anybody who says this, like you're only going after one side. No, if Clinton's guilty of all this shit, he needs to go down too. I don't give a shit who's on that list. Whoever's on that list needs to fucking go down. You know what I'm saying? They all need to go down. That's right. Trevor's saying, I just posted a new video with Scotty and Ingram interview. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's not really news. All right. Let me get my rundown real quick and try and figure that out. Let's see. Any news? Is there a news about Darko on this thing? Okay. Blake Murphy has made it official. It is true. Darko will coach the world team at NBA All-Star Games. So this is official. This is an official source. He's posted this a minute ago, and this is true that Darko will coach the world team at NBA All-Star Games. So that's cool, man. That's awesome. I just needed to see the real news and not just somebody saying it somewhere half-assed on the internet. Blake's saying it. I still don't see it anywhere. Hopefully it's still true. I hope Blake's not been fooled. He's a reputable source. In some ways, if Blake's saying it, I'll go ahead and say it's probably true now. All right, let's see. Happy birthday to Jason Capone. I guess it's his birthday or something like that. I guess, Slam Magazine interview. Okay, that's where you posted. Trevor, in some ways, I don't want to get updates on interviews like this. It's not that important to me. All right, let's do the classic card. I want news. Interviews are not, people will find the interviews and watch them. In some ways, it's not really news. Let's see. Oh, fun. All right, that's interesting. All right, guys. Here we go. Here is Kareem, you say your inside sources list. It's just not verified news until I see it from a verified news source. And, you can act like you had the scoop, but that could have very well been absolute fake news and you were promoting it, just so you know. but it turned out to be real. Maybe they heard my idea. Like, actually, this makes sense. Let Darko coach the third team. Because in some ways, it's like awkward. It's like, how do you determine who's the third coach? Well, get the highest percentage winning coach that's a foreign coach. And that's what they did. Yeah. It was just a post. No, I'm bullshitting. It was just a post. What do you mean? I know what you're saying that. A Serbian website had it first? That's interesting. That's interesting. So maybe Darko found out first. Why have the Raptors not announced it then officially? There's nothing on the official Raptors account yet. Maybe they hear me saying this. Oh, we got to go do this quick. We better post the Darko is the coach of the world team really fast and get that out there right now. Do it. Do it before I get done. Raptors admin. All right, guys. Classic card. Get it. It's too easy. You guys can see it from here. It is true. It's on the NBA now. Okay, good. It wasn't on the NBA when I started my stream. It wasn't anywhere official now, but now it is. Charles Barkley, Slug DZ got it. It's too easy. It's too easy. That's a 50-point card. Slug DZ, the king of the classic card, getting an extra 50 points added to his trivia score for today from earlier too. Charles Barkley, it's too easy, man. You see a 34 in a Philadelphia jersey, you know who that is. You know who that is. Slug DZ getting the classic card of the day, 50 points for Chuck. Let's see. Let's look at it up close. It's a bit of an action shot. It's a little bit of an action shot. It's kind of shaded over. Who's that behind him? Who is that? It looks kind of like, what team are they playing? It's the Bulls. Oh, that's Jordan. That looks like Jordan behind him. Yeah. I thought it was Bo Outlaw for a second, but it is Jordan. Jordan chasing him out. Yeah. How's Slug so fast? He's just like that, man. He's just like that. He's just like that. Yeah, that's Jordan. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, y'all. Let me do the rundown. Thanks for playing Tuesday Trivia with me, Jason Capono, classic Jurassic Tuesday Trivia. Congratulations to Darko Rajakovic. You're going to be coaching the World All-Star team. Fantastic team, man. He's going to get to coach Pascal again, which is fun. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that for Darko. This is great recognition for him. And, well, if the Raptors continue to have a great season into the second half of the season more and more, he should have strong coach of the year candidate consideration, which is awesome. Yeah, that's Mike. That's right. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching today. I appreciate everybody. I'm sorry I'm a cantankerous old fool who's crazy. But, yeah, the opinions that are expressed on this channel are not necessarily the opinions of the NBA, the Toronto Raptors, or anybody else other than me and the other people that were in this chat that did their opinions also. And do not necessarily reflect the opinion of Darko Rajakovic, Bobby Webster, Scotty Barnes, or any of the other Raptors or Raptors-related people. They're solely a fans channel, and I do not say that I'm a journalist, but I do uphold the highest journalistic integrities of fact-checking and not believe in bullshit until it's verified by Blake Murphy. So, yeah, there you go. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back tomorrow for a preview. Minnesota Timberwolves, Toronto Raptors, game number 2 of this 5-team homestand before All-Star break. Let's go, Raptors. Congratulations, Darko. I'm so happy for you, man. And this is going to be exciting to see you coach the World All-Stars. Let's go, Darko. Woo!